Hi Craig, disappointing results. I think we need to drop Salah and create a two up top system with Hugo and Isak. Yeah, there's a lot that I want to go through tonight, Don, and that's certainly one of the topics that I wanted to discuss. Look, I don't want this to sound as if we're trying to pin the finger of blame here on Mohamed Salah. He is one cog in a wheel that is just underperforming. For me, if we're looking for real fingers of blame to be pointed here, like I said in the video earlier on, it has to land at the feet of Arne Slot. Now, of course, he can't kick the ball into the goal for the boys. He can't stop Gakpo hitting the post, but he can stop doing the same things over and over again and think we're going to get a different outcome. I was very frustrated at that match yesterday with a lot of what I seen, and seeing it up close kind of just reassured me, reaffirmed to me the things that I thought watching it on the TV that we were doing wrong. It was clear as day to me when we were at the game yesterday, and I'll go through those topics tonight as well as and when we can. So look, again, you guys get whatever you need to get off your chest in the comments. I do want to say one thing, because for all my ranting earlier on, I forgot to congratulate our opponents. I don't like to do it. I hate to have to say anything positive about Manchester United, but they beat us fair and square. They wanted it more than we did at times yesterday. They dug in and they found a way to win. And, I still think we should have won that game for the sheer amount of chances we created. But I like to say I'm a sportsman through and through as well. And congratulations, as much as it kills me to say it, to Manchester United on their win. They showed the kind of fight that I wanted us to show from the start. And I don't know if we'd even touched the ball by the time that they put it in the net in 62 seconds. It was shocking. And you think to yourself, after 3 defeats on the bounce, an international break, to reset, to get back in, and then we start like that. It's just inexcusable. It really is just inexcusable. And there are lots of people that we're going to point the finger at about it tonight. The manager, of course, needs to be held to account for it. Our captain needs to be held to account. Canada, I thought, put in a decent display for what it's worth. The fullback positions are something we really have to discuss, because let's be honest, they're a problem for us at the minute. And it doesn't seem that Arne Slot knows what his best combination is there, a fullback. So a load to get through there. And as I said, I will work through it as we go through the stream. You're absolutely right. Defence costing us, said Tony W. Marsfield, and thank you, or Marlsfield, excuse me, Tony. Thank you, mate, and appreciate your membership with us as well, as I do, of course, Don Pre beforehand. Yeah, look, it's not like we weren't creating chances yesterday, and, we could have scored 3, 4 or 5 goals, but we are suspect defensively, Tony, aren't we? Like, I had a really good view of a couple of set pieces yesterday because of where we were sitting, and one thing that stood out to me was every free kick that Manchester United got, Maguire just pulled away to the back post and was left on his own. I couldn't believe what I was looking at. When he was being marked, I couldn't even say marked because it was in front of him, and it was Conor Bradley. Now, fair enough, Conor Bradley's the right back and this was the right side, but that's absolutely nonsense. How do you leave their biggest aerial threat unmarked? How do you leave him pull away to the back post like it's some surprise that we didn't know was going to happen? And to concede the goal in the way we did, it's laughable. It is absolutely laughable to me how our defence is so poor. And the delusion of our manager makes me want to just bang my head against the wall. If I hear the words low block from Arne Slot one more time, I think I'm going to explode. Because where was the low block, Arne, when they were scoring in 62 seconds? I don't remember a low block when they were running at us and attacking us. So this low block shit that he comes out with, it's just an excuse at this point. Because he was given the keys to the kingdom. He was given the tools to bring in players to unpick low blocks. But it looks like, from the outside, as we see here, that the guys that he brought in, he has no idea how to use. Alexander Isak was completely isolated in that game yesterday. Other than one pass I think Canade played through when he missed a one-on-one that he should have scored. He was just, outside the game. Wasn't able to link up. Wasn't able to be found by his teammates. On the other side, Cody Gakpo created plenty of chances, obviously. Cut inside, hit the post 3 times, something along those lines. Had a sitter of a header that he missed. Got himself a goal. So, he was putting himself about. But on the other side, let's call a spade a spade. Mohamed Salah was awful, invisible. The 2 worst performers for me in that game yesterday, sitting there looking at it, maybe I should say 3. Milos Kerkez looked lost out there on the pitch. And I mean, like, actually physically looked lost, looking around like he didn't know what position to be in. He didn't know what runs to make. He was very rash, of course, trying to get in ahead on challenges. Salah up ahead of him was absolutely ineffective, like completely ineffective. You go back to midfield, McAllister shouldn't have started the game. Absolutely not. You know, take into account his poor form, take into account the fact that he was one of the last ones back from the international break, and I don't know why he started. So these are things that Arna has to grow a pair and sort out. You know, you've got Jamie Carragher and other pundits now saying Salah shouldn't be a guaranteed starter. And I know it always feels like we're picking on the big guys, the Salahs, the Van Dijks, but they're the talismen. They're the leaders in that dressing room. And dare I say it, they're the ones being paid the big bucks to do it. So, you know, no non-penalty goals in 7 games for Mohamed Salah is the longest he's gone in his Liverpool career. So it can't just be that Trent's not there. There's something not right, and we need to figure out what it is. And Arna needs to have the courage of his convictions to drop Mo. Give him a week or two out. Play Chiesa. You know, what I noticed yesterday at that game was when we brought on Chiesa, when we brought on Curtis Jones, when we brought on Ugo Ekitike, we looked different. We looked like we had an edge about us. We looked like we were going to find a way to get through. They made such a difference when they came on. But this nonsense of just keep picking the same players. And what the fuck, by the way, what was he doing in Dubai for 2 weeks? Because I tell you what, if I'm Arne Slot and my team was that bad and lost 3 in a row, the last thing that I'd be thinking about doing was departing for some winter sun. I would be sitting at the AXA training centre with all of my coaching staff trying to figure out what the hell we are going to do to sort this out. Now, people have said to me, Craig, he's entitled to a holiday. Yes, but they partied the whole summer away. Whether it was over in Ibiza or whatever they were doing. They had their time to celebrate and they had their party. This is work time. Just because there's an international break doesn't mean Arne can piss off. He has a job to do. And he needs to put it right. Because Liverpool have not lost 5 games in a row, I think, since something like 1958. So I'm by no stretch of the imagination trying to say Arne out. I'm not at that point. But I am starting to get concerned that he is being too stubborn, too pig-headed, and that he just won't do what needs to be done. And ultimately, we all know what happens if the results keep going this way. It's not going to be the players who are going to go. It's going to be the manager who's going to be fired. So he's got to stop playing favourites, stop picking off reputations, and utilise the squad that he assembled. The treatment of Chiesa is a joke. Nothing more, nothing less, an absolute joke. He made a huge difference when he came into that game yesterday, and Arne needs to start showing him the respect that he deserves. Now, in the game, look at the right-hand side for United. Amad Diallo absolutely running our players, terrifying our fullbacks, and we have Rio Ngamo again stuck on the bench getting splinters in his backside. Why not bring him on? Why not give him a chance to shine? Why not give him a chance to run at United's fullbacks? There's a lot I wanted to get off my chest, and it was even worse seeing it in person than it is looking at it on the television, because I could just follow players for a couple of minutes and you could just see it's just not right. The whole thing feels off. The back line, why are we moving it side to side? What the fuck is this Van Dijk pointing here, there and everywhere? It's too slow. It's too predictable. And to have our manager complain about a low block when he's given them more time to reset by this stupidity of constantly going backwards. How many throw-ins from the halfway line go back to our keeper? It's an absolute piss take. And this is no style of football. This is a nothing style of football. It is neither attacking nor defensive. It is just devoid of anything. And the players, most importantly, don't look like they have a clue what they're doing. And that's not down to them, because we know the calibre of the players. It's down to Arne's tactics. And he's got to sort it out. Drop Cody and Mo, play Isak and Wirtz, old midfield. So for what it's worth, I've been critical of Cody Gakpo, and I was even critical last night at the show. But he did create plenty of chances. He just didn't take them. You know, and the one that really stood out to me, look, hitting the post is unfortunate, doing it twice is unfortunate, doing it 3 times is really unfortunate. But that header from about 6 yards out when we were chasing the game, you got to be putting those away. But, you know, if I was to drop players from yesterday, you know, Gakpo probably would be the first one I'd be talking about in the attack. I don't know what the story is, Camel Deep, with Isak, because he's not getting opportunities. But is he not getting opportunities because of his movement, or is he not getting opportunities because his teammates still don't know how to utilize his services? But there's like, if I recorded the preview for the Eintracht Frankfurt game already, it's going to be coming out after the stream tonight, and I've changed the way I do it. I've now gone for what he should do, not what I think he's going to do, because it's getting to the point where he doesn't seem to be holding people to account for their performances, and it's just one excuse after another in the media afterwards. Just doesn't seem to be any level of acceptance from Arna. It's saying things like, if you had told me we create this many chances against a team with a low block, I'd have taken it. Would you? How about winning the fucking game, mate? How about that? I don't like excuses. Put your hands up, admit it's your fault, and sort it out.